not wincest. Welcome to the inaugural episode of Bookish Bullshit.
Wow.
This is a debate show in which we get groups of different booktubers to come together and debate life's most important questions in the bookish community. I am joined by two booktubers. We have Hannah.
Hello, from Snow White Reader, formerly known as Snow White and the Seven Shelves.
And we have Rhiannon.
From the channel Crescent Reads, happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Formerly known as...
Nope.
And I am Cindy from Read with Cindy.
Formerly known as...
Formerly known as a loser. And
No.
I still am. Formerly known as a nobody.
What?
Formerly known as Crescent Moon and the Seven Shells. We are going to be answering the question, what is the worst YA love interest? The three of us have come together today with our top two answers. Hannah, would you like to begin?
My first one is anti-feminist French boy with a girlfriend.
Never heard of that before.
It's definitely not a contemporary trope done by Stephanie Perkin.
Stephanie who?
Yeah, exactly. What I find the most revolting in tropes is the element of reality. And so I really think that anti-feminist French boy with a girlfriend exists everywhere. In fact, this is why I think Gaston is the worst villain, because he's so rooted in reality.
Are you saying that the worst YA love interest is one that is exactly like men in real life?
Exactly.
Because men are the worst?
Yes, exactly.
Fair point.
Okay,
Fair
yeah.
point.
We have to
Fair
give that
point.
to you.
Shows a mirror and it's just like, I can't. Michael Jackson, looking in the man in the mirror, I couldn't.
Maybe not after that documentary.
So this is why I think Gaston is the worst villain, because he's really rooted in reality. I'm not scared of a evil sea witch that's gonna steal my voice. I'm scared about the misogynistic man who wants to take me and kidnap me, because that could really happen.
What was the reason for why you chose French boys specifically? Because I do think that anti-feminist is a deal breaker. Having a girlfriend is a deal breaker. But what is it about French people that revolt you so? Are you a reverse racist?
So here's the thing.
Is reverse racism real? Tell us, Hannah.
I just imagine like you're into this French boy and you're eating a croissant because you are French. And because
Wait, now we're French.
Yes.
This is a hypothetical
Oh,
scenario.
okay,
So in
got
this
it, got
scenario,
it, okay.
I am French
We're
as
French.
well.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm the French boy with a girlfriend, and we're out to dinner, and I say, Cindy, are you sure you should be eating that croissant? I don't know if you can like take it right now because you're like menstruating.
Ooh.
What?
So it's just like a lot.
Wait, what's the correlation between the croissant and...
Because he's French and all he eats are croissants. He gives you a salad and he's like, bon
Yes.
appetit, bitch.
Yes, exactly.
And he just eats his macaroons and croissants.
All day, every day.
But he also has a very obnoxious French accent. So he's
All
like,
the
are
time.
you really sure you want to eat the croissant?
Percy is Jackson. Yes, exactly. I just feel like that would be very annoying, just to top off just the trouble that this boy would cause you.
He sounds like the pretentious douche that would constantly wear a beret. Men that wear fedoras, they get made fun of. But the men who wear berets, they're the most suspect.
Yes, 100%. Because they're like kind of good with fashion, but they're a snob about it.
Since we are going to line up, I will go next. The answer that I chose for what is the worst YA love interest is Billionaire bearshifter. We all know that a common YA trope when an ordinary girl meets a supernatural guy. A guy who is so strange and so non-human. We've seen this, you know, in vampires, werewolves.
100%.
You are a normal everyday girl going to school. You're not like other girls. You also get an internship to work with a young CEO.
Okay. Wow.
And this CEO is the same age as you. And he's
What?
a billionaire. And he's so handsome. And you think, oh my gosh, this is like the perfect guy. But he's extremely cold to you. It's as if he's hiding something. And also, when you first appeared to his office, he was like covering his nose.
Very Edward Cullen.
As if he was
Yeah.
repulsed by you. And you noticed that you were on your period when you met him. And you were like, oh my God, like, is he a vampire? Because he's showing all of the signs of being a vampire. And I was on my period when I met him, and I had a pretty heavy blood flow. And I had an extremely heavy blood flow that even I was very subconscious about it, and he acted disgusted by me. But then he's also very hairy, so he could be a werewolf as well.
Oh no!
So, is he a vampire? Is he a werewolf?
Yeah.
Is he some supernatural Christian Grey? And then the truth comes out. You're camping out.
Oh my.
You didn't check to see the reports that there would be a landslide.
Oh my
So
gosh.
then you end up trapped in your tent. But then you hear a bear that's coming out to save you. And you
Yes.
think, holy shit, I'm gonna die from
Yeah.
this bear.
Right.
But then he, for some reason, you're cornered in this tent. And this big bear is just coming towards you. And you think, oh my God, I'm gonna die. And he takes his mouth and he just grabs you by the shirt. And then he just takes you out of that landslide. You look into his eyes and you think, do I know you? If I do, why do you look like you've been in so much pain? That was the CEO that she was interning for. By daytime, he is a billionaire. And by nighttime, he is a bear.
I
And
fail to see the negative.
you would think, you know, marrying a billionaire,
Would be
you know,
Great, yeah.
that's the
I love
trap.
bears.
That is the trap that gets you,
Living
you
in the
know.
forest.
He is so stressed out from having to separate these two identities from each other. He's a wild animal, so it's dangerous to be with him. It's not like a vampire, it's not like a werewolf. He could literally kill you.
But so can a vampire and a werewolf.
Not that I've seen. Is Bella dead? I don't think so.
But she could have been a lot of times. Did you
Dracula.
see them bang and Breaking Dawn?
I have never watched Twilight in my life.
That's like the whole conflict of the movie is that
Yeah.
Edward Cullen is like, I could kill you
Yeah.
at any moment, and she's like, sign me up, bitch. Like,
You know
that's
what?
the allure.
I've seen Edward Cullen. He's a skinny white boy. I am not scared by him at all. This
He's super straight.
This, I don't care. I don't care. This is a fucking bear. Would you put yourself and a fucking bear in the same bed as you? No, you would die.
Bella Swan would.
Yeah.
Stupid YA love interest would.
Yeah, exactly. So what I'm saying is,
Okay.
if you were with a billionaire bear shifter, you were seen as a gold digger and you were seen as a furry.
Oh, yeah.
Also-
And he would shed a lot.
Oof.
And if you're the typical YA love interest that doesn't get noticed, you probably wear black all the time. So
Yes.
that is just very inconvenient for your aesthetic.
And he has to change into a bear every night.
Every night.
Oh.
So that means you also can't have intimate time with him at nighttime.
But I feel like you could work out a schedule.
Right, but he's a billionaire, so he's busy the whole time during the daytime trying to be normal.
You'd have
just
to
say,
get like a 5 to 5:30 strict
Yeah,
regimen.
just like at nighttime, you say, go in the cage. You don't want to kill me, right?
I just think that this is too much compromise, and relationships shouldn't be constantly about compromise. It shouldn't be this hard.
Okay.
Please, like, that's the quote. Relationships shouldn't be about compromise.
Rhiannon, what is your answer for the worst
Okay.
YA love interest?
So we've seen some really strong contenders.
Yes, the
Um,
French.
But
And the bear. The bear.
today I'm going to be making a case for
Please go
Zeus,
ahead.
the Greek god.
Oh. Okay.
Notorious douchebag.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Like, OG.
A womanizer.
A
too.
womanizer.
Yeah.
Your French boy has one girlfriend?
He has all
Zeus
of them.
has millions, probably. Demigod children everywhere. Sleeping with human girls all the time. Probably non-consensually. A predator, honestly.
And the family reunions would be so
A
awkward.
nightmare. Hera's just there, breathing down your neck. Like, excuse me? You underage lass? Like, what are you doing here? So many levels of wrong. So bad. Zeus is literally the worst, and if he gets mad at you, he can smite you. Which is like, whoa.
That's
like,
low-key abusive. Maybe even high-key.
The Greek mythology is tough, and like a lot of them are super anti-feminist, a lot of them are super misogynistic, predators, the whole 9 yards. Zeus is the worst among them. I just think that that would be awful. The age difference is wild. Immortal god of lightning
Yeah.
Yeah.
plus
16-year-old
teenager
girl.
is problematic, and I think that it would be really, really bad. I think it would give a whole new meaning to Percy Jackson that we don't even want.
No.
You know? Speaking of which, that's middle grade, so that would be even worse. He stands on his own as like the worst. I think everyone can pretty much mutually agree that he's
Right.
horrible.
How is she able to meet Zeus as a love interest? How does this romance even blossom?
I would say that it's like fantasy. Think Lovely War, Aphrodite's in that. Ares is in that. It's a retelling.
Yeah.
There's mythological beings in it. You know the book Hades, right?
Yes.
So it's a YA retelling where Hades like comes from the underworld, takes this teenager away, takes her down to the underworld. I'm imagining
Oh,
this, but with
hot.
like Zeus. Comes down from the sky and just plucks you and just takes you to Olympus where you are like serving as like in his whatever. Like his
Court?
group of like women.
It's like a found family, you know?
Of other women also being preyed upon.
It's like Mormons. You join like a sisterhood, and you know it's not like a long.
Zeus is like preying on really young girls,
Yeah.
and he accidentally grabs you and you're like 17, and so you go in and you infiltrate and you see, oh my god. Because all these girls are being like gaslit. They're like, oh my god, he's a god. They got Stockholm syndrome. And this YA love interest is like, oh my god, I gotta fix this.
Wow.
He's literally the worst ever.
He's like a YouTuber then, preying on underage girls.
Yeah. So
Right.
it's like really bad.
And he's a
And
womanizer.
dark. Yeah.
He is anti-feminist. However, he's not French.
Yeah.
That's
That's
the
true.
thing.
He's Greek.
And as
Yeah.
we discussed, the French are the worst.
Arguably though, Zeus is worse. His insidious nature is even worse because some people idolize him. Everyone kind of mutually knows the French are obnoxious. With Zeus, like he could be charming. He could show up as someone who's like really handsome and great, and other people won't maybe believe you. They're like, no, he's Zeus. Like,
Right.
what are
Like
you
the-
talking about?
the
So it's
worst
like an
bait and
insidious
switch.
sort of horrible, yeah.
Right. But also, I like Greek food.
I doubt he knows how to make them.
Like, they
he would be a
divide it.
Mary Sue if you like made him up.
Like many male characters.
And yet, do we have a male equivalent to a Mary Sue?
Billy Bob.
Gary Stew.
Gary.
Hello, this is Hannah from the future because for the first time in history, I think crackhead energy messed with technology because the part where I talked about my next worst love interest is lost. But alas, alark, but here I am. In the future, coming at you with the hard, cold evidence of why Henry VIII is the worst. As you can see, I am very prepared. First things first, I'm the realist, and we should get the statistics out of the way for Henry VIII. Henry was actually one of the most paranoid kings, as he killed 50,000 of his own people, and this is commoners. We're not even talking about the people in the court who could have had the power to overthrow him, but we're talking about like his people. He was like so paranoid that he thought everyone was turning against you, and obviously that is not a relationship goal, because like a paranoia will eat and eat at a relationship. Am I right, ladies? And I think, I don't have it written down, but I think it's like he killed over 50 people of his own court, which was like unheard of the time. He was just so incredibly scared that someone was going to overrule him or overthrow him, which is not good, because obviously trust is such a crucial part of a relationship. I feel like my debate side is coming out, or like the lawyer inside of me that will never emerge. But my next point is Henry VIII had a god complex, and what this means is he actually rewrote a lot of the Bible during his reign, and when he revealed the cover, it actually had him bigger. It actually had him bigger than God himself, because he thought he was above the law and all this stuff, even though it was after the Magna Carta and he is technically under the law. But he was like, I am the king of all kings, above the one and only. He is also the first king in history to go by or make his subjects call him Your Majesty, which is like such a pride factor, that he thinks he's above like sacred holy beings and everyone else is below him. It's just like the pride on this guy and like small dick energy on this guy is like insane. Like, you know, like he's overcompensating for so much. The next portion, obviously, I have to talk about the wives. The like thing that pops into my head with Henry VIII, or like having to date Henry VIII, is like, imagine like Catherine Howard, which is the 5th wife. Oof, that took me way too long. And you know, you're on a first date with Henry, and like the date or the conversation comes up of like, oh, so like tell me about your exes, and Henry has to go into this whole big long monologue. Oh yeah, like, oh yeah, my first one, I didn't believe in her faith anymore. So like we had the first divorce in history. Yeah, my second one, she cheated on me even though I was constantly sleeping with her sister. So like I beheaded her. The other one, I think she died in childbirth, trying to deliver the son that I always wanted to like keep the Tudor heir going. And then yeah, the last one before you, I just thought was ugly, so I divorced her. Like, so many red flags. And the thing that's like scary about being a woman in like this time period is like you had no choice in the matter. The power dynamic is so clear. Like, he has so much power over you, like, no matter what. Anne Boleyn didn't want to get married to him. Catherine Howard didn't want to get married to him. Basically, all the Catherines didn't want to get married to him, actually, now that I think about it. It was just insane. And you might say that, like, you'll probably say, like, well, there's a lot of bad kings in history, like, why is Henry VIII so bad? And I just think it's like the way that he treated women of his time is just like truly unforgivable. Just like no respect. There's been accounts of like abuse in the bedroom and him getting completely mad about like why his wives aren't producing a male heir, which, by the way, biology says it's his fault. And there's just like so many elements that would like make Henry a bad love interest. He also had an incredible temper, which was never managed. He didn't care about ruling the country because there was accounts of him going off hunting, leaving his court to rule, which is makes sense of why he's paranoid, because he's not doing his job. So you got this guy who's like angry at you for not having a boy, angry at the country, and paranoid that someone's going to overrule him when he's not doing his job. Henry VIII is just like this big like dichotomy of himself and contradiction of who he wants to be and what he actually is. But yeah, I mean, coming to my debate side, in conclusion, Henry is his own biggest contradiction and would make for just a terrible person to like start a relationship. One, you wouldn't have a choice. He would get mad at you and possibly behead you, which I think are three common distinctions of why Henry VIII is the worst love interest. Thank you. I'll go ahead and hand it back to, I think Cindy was up next.
After a brief intermission with technical difficulties, we are now back for my turn. My answer for the worst YA love interest is White Boy of the Month. This is not a subscription. This is not something you chose to subscribe to.
Wow.
And you know what? Neither did he. Now let me explain.
Oh my goodness.
This idea was based on the YA story called Every Day. It is basically a romance where the main character wakes up every day in a different body. They end up falling in love with a girl. This person wakes up in a variety of different bodies in the books and movies. Different genders, different ethnicities. They're every single person on the rainbow. That was supposed to be the message of the whole story, that, you know, love has no
bounds.
Love has no bounds. Well, this love is quite vanilla. You are just an ordinary girl. You meet this boy. Let's call him Noah Centineo. He's like the popular kid in school. He has like curly brown hair. He has that lopsided smile. You think that he is just a typical jock and you don't want anything to do with him. But you do end up falling for him and he ends up falling for you and just develop this intense relationship. But then at the end of the month, you wake up next to him and you look at him. You look at his pasty skin and you're like, he still kind of looks the same, but also a little bit different. His hair is like slightly more brown and his eyes have more flecks in them.
Slightly more brooding.
It's weird because he looks the same, but you can also tell that he's different. And you're like, Noah, did you like change something? And he's like, Noah, I'm not Noah. I'm Dylan Sprouse. And who are you? It turns out this boy that you fell in love with is under a curse. On the first of every month, he changes into another white boy of the month. He changes into whoever boy has been designated by fan culture as white boy of the month. So he's like the next actor from Teen Wolf or Riverdale or whoever. Again, I can't tell them apart because I can't tell white people apart, and that's another downside for me. And the worst thing about it is he doesn't recognize you because he's technically a new white boy. All the development that you built up, it's gone because he doesn't remember who you are. It seems like not bad because it's like, you know, the new honeymoon phase every month. If you get tired of one, you just wait till the next month. But after a while, it gets so tiring because it's the same generic bullshit over and over. It's so frustrating because it's like, I already told you what I was wearing. I already told you what I was doing up to tonight. And you don't even remember.
Yeah.
You don't even remember that when you texted me, WYD, I said, just chillin'. He doesn't remember any of that.
None.
This happens every single month, and it drives you crazy because this is the same hell over and over and over again. It doesn't matter how many times you fall in love with him because you know it's never gonna work out with the white boy of the month.
I can't even. I'm sorry.
Thoughts? Questions? Does anyone have any questions?
I'm trying to think of like a counterpoint. It's so strong. Like the case is clearly strong. Fan culture, the white boy of the month culture.
Yes.
It's very thirst based.
So you have to deal with the fangirls too.
Yeah, you have to
That's
deal with
another
the
point.
fangirls. But also, is anyone really thirsting after them for their personality? Maybe it's awesome because you have unfiltered access to the thirst trap of the month. You can just one and done that bitch.
See,
you know?
that was my argument where at first it seems like a good thing because it could just be, you know, no strings attached, no feelings.
But it wears on you.
Imagine if you ate vanilla ice cream every single day. Sometimes you just want the chocolate. Sometimes you just want the mint. There needs to be variety.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're
We are
right.
boring, yes.
And that's why I am in the yellow chair. Because I am the yellow in the middle.
We're the mayonnaise.
I am the banana to this vanilla ice cream sundae. After a while, you need more than that.
Yeah.
You need more than just the white boy of the month.
Deep.
Sometimes you need the white boy of the year. Rhiannon, what is your answer?
My final answer is your brother who's not your brother. We've been
Explain.
speaking about a lot of hypotheticals here. We've been speaking about a lot of YA love interests that we are making up. This trope has been used.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Never heard of it.
I don't know if you've ever heard of the Mortal Instruments series.
Oh.
The
What's
Mortal
that?
Who?
I know, it's kind of underground, a
Yeah.
little bit indie. The main character, her love interest, they develop a relationship
Yeah.
and then they find out that they are siblings. It causes a lot of emotional turmoil, but ultimately they do decide to be together anyway and they kiss.
They're like YOLO.
Yeah, they're like, we gotta live our life. They question it for a long time.
Yeah, they question it.
They do.
Is he
But-
immortal?
I don't remember. I don't. Does it matter?
I don't know.
Well, we're talking about
Okay,
this
so anyway.
guy.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
They find out they're siblings and they are agonized over it, but ultimately they decide, you know what, we only get one life. You're clearly my soulmate.
Yeah, you
We
only
didn't grow
live
up
once.
together. You only live once.
YOLO.
YOLO. And they kiss and they
Nice.
kind of come to the decision that they're gonna be together, only to find out that they're not related. And
Nice.
here, let me explain how this is even worse.
Wouldn't your brother, who is actually your brother, be worse than your brother who isn't
isn't?
actually your brother?
Ooh.
Let me tell you why psychologically and emotionally this is hard. They've already given up their moral stance against incest. They said YOLO, and they did it anyway. And then they have to reconcile the fact that they did that. I'm gonna
Yeah, they
kiss
didn't
my
care.
sister. Let's do this thing.
They said YOLO and then they were like, no go.
Oh man, we know this is bad, but you know what? This is our cross to bear, as they say, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna haul it up the hill. Finding out that that wasn't really true, but that you were okay with it, even when you thought it was,
Claire Legrand.
is really bad. Universally, I
Yes.
think we can accept that incest
is the worst.
is bad.
Well, you know, book Twitter can differ, you know?
Well, Henry
Oh,
had some.
he's into that? You know, a lot of our love interests,
man.
like, overlap with each other,
Yeah,
I
They
feel.
have some common ground.
Is your brother French? You thought, like, you two were both Italian, and then you're like, oh no, we're Italian siblings. But then it turns out he's French. You're like, oh, okay, good, thank God he's not my brother, but he's French.
Deal breaker.
Also, I already kissed him when I thought he was my brother. I know, and he knows,
That-
that we were okay with this. How do we move forward?
I kissed him when I thought he was Italian.
Whoa, I'm offended.
That's intense.
Mamma mia. Sister mia.
The kind of lasting psychological
Oh.
damage sticks with you throughout your life.
It doesn't even matter that you two are not actually related. That relationship has been tainted.
Yes.
Because you have crossed that boundary
Yes.
already.
Yes.
So it would still be quite awkward at family reunions.
100%.
Right?
Your actual brother, your other brother, the one that's real,
Is
is
anything
gonna be
happening?
like,
It's like, you know, you're sitting at Thanksgiving and you're like, hey, big bro, can you pass the salt? And then both your love interests and your brother, your actual brother, stand up and you're like, ooh.
it's really bad. And I think also this has that level of realism because we've seen it used. I think that lends something of a nightmare quality to it, a waking nightmare, if you will.
I think if I could choose between crossing the boundary of my brother, who's actually my brother, between crossing the boundary of my brother, who's not actually my brother, I would still do the latter, though, right? Because you're still crossing a boundary either way, but this guy's actually your brother.
Yeah,
You know?
actual incest is worse.
Yes!
Yes.
I just think this has more layers to it.
I think your stance that fake incest is worse than real incest is very brave. Book Twitter will be talking about...
You can't do this to me!
Victoria Aviar will have some questions for you, and Book Twitter will be talking about this for the next 2 weeks.
Emily B. Again.
Kill me! I find out there's gonna be drama about me on book Twitter. I'm like, end it now.
I understand your psychological reasoning
There's a
for it.
nuanced quality to it with the takesies backsies, you know, with finding out that your brother's not your brother. You have to face this thing in a way that you didn't before. This hypothetical person had already decided they were cool with it. They were fine with it. They would have gone on the rest of their lives being like, you know what? I live with my choices. But now they're stopped. Oh, guess what? Not your brother. But you were chill with that.
What if it was just a prank, bro? Literally. Maybe that's how they find out.
They were on Punk.
So it's even worse because it's just a cheap gimmick and they told the world on reality television that they were cool with that.
Well, prank shows are, like, the stakes are getting higher for prank shows now, where in order to be a juicy prank, they gotta traumatize you. Ashton Kutcher comes out and they're like, ha, just kidding, you're not actually related, but you still kiss.
yeah. Then you find out that this horrible psychological trauma, this thing that, like, makes you hate yourself was all just for TV ratings.
Wow. And clickbait.
Hunger Games and Shadowhunters crossover. A concept.
That's the prequel.
That is the prequel.
You're hurting by even.
I'm hurting. I'm hurting even in this hypothetical situation. I'm hurting.
She put Shadowhunters in the arena.
I can't. Yeah, don't even say those two
Wow.
together. That hurts.
I think we all have pretty
Some
strong,
strong choices.
contenders.
Okay.
So I didn't really think about how we should pick a winner or
Is
whatever.
this a democracy?
Oh,
We can pick the top one, and then maybe the audience the commenters can say which one's the worst one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's go down the line and we will vote for which one is the top for each of us and then let the
Ooh,
audience
we'll
decide.
have. Oh, I know. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So we'll vote for. We pick one. So that's the top three, and the audience picks the rankings.
yeah.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Now it is time to pick. Now it is time to pick the top three answers, and you, the audience watching, can rank the top three from what we picked.
Yes.
That was a bad explanation. Okay.
It's fine.
Hannah.
Yes.
Let's review your two answers. We have anti-feminist French boy with a girlfriend and Henry VIII. I personally vote for Henry VIII, even though this guy is a douchebag. He's a douchebag that can behead you.
That's gonna kill you.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
I have billionaire bearshifter and white boy of the month.
I'm gonna go with White Boy, of the Month.
This one, there can be no relationship.
Yeah.
You have
Just
to start
emotional
over.
trauma.
Exactly. Speaking of emotional trauma, let's discuss your answer.
Zeus and your brother who's not your brother.
Zeus could actually kill you. Yes, despite the weird, awkward family reunion stuff with your brother, he could be like a pretty chill dude, you know? I mean, he must be chill since he was like down to clown.
He's like almost too chill.
I feel like they are on opposite sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Where he has no chill and he is too chill.
I feel like Zeus could end in your murder.
What if
And the
Zeus
White
was your
Boy of the
brother?
Month.
Isn't his wife? Like, weren't they siblings?
Oh my god, mine could just go together.
Yeah. They were like Kronos' kids, right?
The double whammy.
Am I making that up?
Yeah, all the gods are technically kind of related.
Kind of related. Wow.
Why do you kink shame?
Incest is
Not wincest.
love yourself, love your
Alright.
kinks, but not if they're incest.
Go ahead and comment in the video how you would rank these three answers for the worst YA love interest.
Henry VIII.
White boy of the month.
And Zeus.
Don't forget to subscribe to Hannah's channel and Rhiannon's channel. I will have their links in the description. Give them some clout and unsubscribe from my channel. Goodbye.
菜的海 A 的 some bad Fuck you pay me type of track I just want mine and I get And if you got it then it's that And lately I've been feeling new Hit the swirly that's